Hey guys, welcome to Tone Bros. My name's Casey.
And I'm Colin. We're going to get started with our current topic of the day,
Yeah.
which is the Jimmy Page SJ200.
Oh yeah. There's two different ones.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got the ones he signed, and then they've got the ones that are just like production standard. Well, they're not production level. They're Murphy Labs.
Hey, they're both really cheap, man.
Yeah, cheap price. What are the prices on them?
I don't know. You tell me.
They are $20,000. That one's sold out. It sold out in the first day, I think.
Okay.
And then the other one is like $12,000. So that's for Murphy Lab.
I mean, for an SJ200, just regular custom shop, that's what, like close to $6,000.
Yeah, something like that. And it is Murphy Lab, so it's going to be in the ballpark of like $8,000 to $10,000 for an average Murphy Lab guitar.
Right.
So it being 12.
That's not terrible.
Signature Jimmy Page
I mean,
SJ200.
not that I'm going to pay it, but
No, I mean I wouldn't pay that for that guitar, personally. I'm kind of tired of these Gibson guitars. Like, this is like the third time we've done a current topic with one of these guitars. It's like signed by them, that's special, like over $20,000, sometimes up to $50,000 or $70,000 or what. I'm tired of it, dude.
right.
I'm just over it, completely over it. I'm sorry to put you guys through another current topic of one of these guys. One of the used guys. It's from that movie, you know?
No.
Used guys.
My cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny, that's the movie.
Oh, okay. Anyways, back to reality. So Jimmy Page, I still think is an awesome Gibson artist, and especially with an acoustic.
I'm glad you think Jimmy Page is an awesome artist.
What I'm saying is, it's always Slash. It's always Slash.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
And no one, like, I think besides Slash and Orianthi has an acoustic.
Miranda Lambert.
Okay, there's actually quite a few. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Now that I start thinking
Noel
about
Gallagher.
it. Yeah.
You mean just keep going?
No.
Okay.
But no one of, like, Jimmy Page stature.
Well, there's only probably 5 of those guys out there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you're saying. I like that they're signing the back of the headstocks. I love when they do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they put out a special release like that and they actually have the person sign the back of the headstock or there's something unique with it, I love that. I don't love that it's $20,000.
Well, it's not made for us. Let's be honest.
No, this is made for a collector that's probably not going to touch it. They're going to hang it up. It's going to be something they talk about.
Right.
It's not for the average giggy musician that's going to take it out to a gig.
Nope.
Boy, can you imagine that? Just bumping and
No.
you know everything. The SJ200's got Jimmy Page's signature on the back, and you're just clunking around with it all the time.
No, I've got a friend who's got a regular SJ200. I say regular. I mean, those things are nice.
Yeah, standard SJ200.
And it's amazing guitar. Like, there's a reason those types of guitars have made records for decades.
Yep.
Freaking beautiful. And that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Yeah, they're expensive, but also they're just like cantankerous to take around on gigs. Like, of all the guitars to gig with, like as an acoustic,
Right.
I don't know. A standard body dreadnought acoustic is big enough for me.
Yeah, you can't deny the sound of an SJ200 though.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as in like taking it to a gig and stuff. You know, for recording, it's a completely different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or sitting in your house playing, but yeah, I would not want to gig one of those personally.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of Gibson doing this thing. You know, they done the studio release here not too long ago, which is great that they redone some studios.
That's different.
I know that we've got like beginning of the year, like probably revamping of some of these lines that's gonna be coming up here soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be nice because I'm really like I know that Caesar. Here we go again with this guy's name. You know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
He was so hard on these artists. Not hard, but he was like gung-ho on going after these artists and like making Gibson about the artist again and doing all these things. That's great. But also, like, can we get to like the guitar players? Like, it's
Right.
kind of important for the average guitar player.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I'm tired of the $20,000, $40,000 guitars that are coming out.
Right.
I was at the Gibson garage here a few months ago, and they had the Red Eye Les Paul there. Like the $20,000 one or $40,000 one that had the old little tacker on it
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. And like, it was cool. But I mean, who's buying that stuff? You know, it's just collectors, and that's That's great. We should come out with a couple of those every year. I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it's just been like release after release after release of these things to where I don't know, maybe they're looking at a new market of these high-end collectors and stuff that I'm not seeing. You know, we see the average guitar player.
I was about to say, they're selling them. So, I mean, you might as well just keep cranking them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. If you can sell a $40,000 guitar, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, am I totally off base here with that?
I don't know. It's one of those things like, really, this topic does not apply to us at all.
Right.
Like, we saw it, we wanted to talk about it because I think it is a cool idea. Like, you know, you think, babe, I'm going to leave you. That acoustic sound, that is iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, when they came out with that ad or market or whatever for this SJ200 and Jimmy Page is playing that song, you hear it, I'm like, talk about a perfect song to like represent this guitar.
Yeah. But then there's also been songs he's recorded with harmony guitars.
Or D28s.
Yeah. He's played so many different guitars.
Right.
Not to say that discounts this guitar. But it's just, I don't know. It's the current topic. That's what this is for, is to talk about something currently happening.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily, our cup of tea.
No.
So let's move on to my main topic.
Okay.
So my main topic today is talking about Christmas gifts for the guitar player. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Okay.
So what are some of these Christmas gifts that you've seen, you've gotten, that have been good? And what are the ones you've gotten that are bad that people should maybe avoid? Maybe some people could watch this that are looking to buy their guitar playing friend a Christmas gift or their significant other. So what's some stuff that are good and bad that you've seen?
I'm trying to think. So are you talking about to someone who doesn't know anything about guitars or somebody who has a rough idea about guitars?
Just in general, kind of maybe a little bit of both. Maybe a little bit of both. Like a significant other of a guitar player, right? So if your wife was going to be buying you something for Christmas for your guitar, what's some of the stuff that she should probably be avoiding, or what's some of the stuff she should be looking for? You know.
Well, she'd just call you, so.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That being said, I think obviously strings, picks, all those necessities you're going to use all the time. You can buy those.
How frustrating is it when somebody buys you picks or strings, though, and it's the wrong stuff?
So picks, usually there's no wrong right now because I'm using every style of pick.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, you get me any pick, as long as it's not paper thin, I'm happy.
Okay.
So I don't care about picks. You can buy me whatever. Strings, as long as they're the right gauge.
Yeah.
You know, like if they go Diodario, Ernie Ball, whatever, you know, Elixir for acoustic. It is what it is. Now, my wife, she knows what brands I take, but she might not know the gauge.
Yeah.
So she'd probably have to talk to you about that.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Yeah, so picks are fine, all that standard stuff, right? You can never go wrong with guitar cables.
That's true.
You can always have extra guitar cables. You can always have extra mic stands.
Yep.
You can have extra guitar stands. You can always have, let me think. For me, I'm a slide player. Extra slides.
Yeah.
I'm dropping them a lot.
That's something, too. You can kind of get any type. And that's okay, because sometimes you're looking for something different, right?
Right. So any of those, like, accessories, you can pretty much go with whatever for the most part, besides strings are a little more particular. And some people are particular about picks. You just have to know what they kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say for someone who doesn't know much about guitars, probably head that route. You can never go wrong with a tuner either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, tuner's always good, especially like clip-on tuners. You could always have another one laying around.
Yeah.
Capos are a little more specific sometimes.
Sometimes.
I think the everyday stuff's great. I think picks and strings and all that stuff is really good. If you don't know what strings they're using, maybe just try to sneak a look at them. Maybe ask them or somebody, that plays with them so they have an idea.
Or get a gift card to that store.
Some people get pretty particular with stands and things like that. Some of the gifts I've seen that are bad is sometimes the corny guitar posters, the corny guitar shirts, the corny guitar, like little...
The amount of pick holder keychains
that
I've gotten, even if they're personalized, It's really nice. It might have my name on it, and it's a big old keychain. I'm never going to use that.
It's the thought that counts. We get that. However, there's some thoughts that are better than others.
I mean, it'll be one of those things I'll keep in my music room, but I will never use it.
Yeah. Sometimes like the little knickknacks that end up in your music room or like around with your gear. That's like, kind of annoying.
Like a figurine of Gene Simmons. Like,
yeah.
I don't need that.
Stay away from those pick cutout things that look like staplers. We talked about it in the last episode, I think. Funny enough. Those things are horrible.
Terrible.
Nobody's going to use their credit cards or credit cards that come in the mail.
Yeah.
Cut out picks. No one wants to buy them.
Look, you can make your own picks. That way you don't have to buy them.
No.
Oh, that's not how that works.
Not a good choice. What about any other things that are just like cringy? Is there anything else you can think of that's cringy?
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of like, just like you said, guitar shirts or like random signs that it's like rock and roll and it's got a guitar on it and that's pretty much all it says. Like, just because it has a guitar on it doesn't mean it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like rugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because it has a guitar on it and you're a guitar player doesn't mean you necessarily want it.
Right.
I would much rather have a spare cable, a spare whatever laying around. What about that person that wants to buy you something bigger? What if they want to buy you a guitar? What if they want to buy you an amp? What if they want to buy you a pedal? And maybe they don't know exactly what to get you. What do they do?
Hopefully they have somebody like you to ask.
Yeah.
My wife has somebody like you to ask, right? So if someone else is a little more knowledgeable, ask them. That doesn't guarantee it's going to be something right.
Nope.
Like that person could just kind of choose what they want and not what your significant other likes or your partner, whatever. So that's not always, that's hard to do. When it's a big purchase, that is hard to do. You're best off going off with going from the things that you know they have said. Like, man, this is one of those things I'd really love to have, but you know, I'm not spending the money right now. Or, you know, obviously there's going to be dream equipment. Probably not, you know, best case scenario for every Christmas, but
right. That's kind of what we're talking about. Is like a big purchase, a special time.
Now, I will say I have a running list on my phone of stuff I would like to purchase.
Yeah.
So I have a list of all the things I have purchased, and in that same list, there's some that I haven't. So my wife does know, you know, and I don't have my phone on me all the time.
Yeah, she could snoop.
She can snoop and look and kind of go from there. So that's helpful. So if you have someone like that, that she can, or they can actually check kind of a phone setting or anything like that, or some notes, that's really helpful, but you might not have that.
I'll tell you another thing too, is if you're going to be buying a big guitar, big purchase, let's say you know that he wanted a 59 reissue Les Paul. That's hard to buy.
Yep. And it's very player specific, and I honestly wouldn't make that purchase without them.
I would either not make it, or I would go to a very trusted retailer. I would call Wildwood.
Oh, yeah.
I would call somebody, you know, call one of these manufacturers, call Gruen's, call Carter's, call somebody that you know is really, really on top of that stuff and known for great customer service.
Yeah.
And tell them, hey, I'm wanting to buy this guitar as a gift. And I don't play guitar. Can you guys play a bunch of these and pick your favorite out of the bunch? And maybe I can go and listen to them, or maybe I can go and see them and kind of make the final decision. Like you said, these three are kind of your favorite of the bunch, and I can kind of pull the trigger on the last one. Most of these places have a good return policy if they really do hate it.
Right. Especially around the holidays.
Yeah, but I think probably a great retailer like that is going to give you, you know, a good shot of them really liking what it is. And it's going to be special that, you know, your significant other or a good friend or something picked it out for you specifically.
Yeah, Wildwood's a good shout.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you just cannot come up with something, you can never go wrong with like actual manufacturer merch, like a Gibson mug. It's from Gibson.
Yep.
That's different than like just a random sign that says Gibson that a one-off company made.
Yep, a t-shirt or something like that from Gibson or Fender or whoever, whatever some of their manufacturers are, or some of their favorite guitar players. There's a lot of guys that maybe they're watching YouTube videos of Tom Bukovac or Guthrie Trapp. You know, maybe they've got some merch they sell, And then the last thing I would bring up in this whole category is like lessons or tuition stuff. You know, True Fire's got a big thing.
yeah.
You see that all over the place. But there's a lot of different people that have, you know, like lesson plans basically online that maybe you could buy them like 6 months of it.
Yeah, or a master class.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Something like that is always a really good option too. It kind of fits that middle ground. It's not as expensive as something like guitar or amp or something,
That's a good one.
but it's a little more than a stocking stuffer.
Yeah, and it's something that they can refer back to and stuff like that.
And 6 months worth of it, 3 months worth of it, probably gonna be super expensive. And they can kind of see, do I want to continue this? And they can continue the subscription to it or whatever. But
Right.
yeah, that's kind of where I'd go. But I guess we'll move into your gas or pass.
Yep. So, we are going to be talking about the Roland JC40. It's a smaller stereo. It's got the nice chorus on there.
Yeah.
All right. Super clean amp. Very clean. If you're looking for dirty sounds, this is not it. But it's like $700 brand new. Like I said, it's stereo. Tom Bukovac currently has been playing some Roland
120s.
120s. But realistically, you're probably going to want the 40 if you're at home. And really, I would say pretty much in a live show too. So, what are your thoughts on it? I thought it was really cool. It is a unique sound. You know, it's not a tube amp. It's something completely different for us. So,
Okay, you're going to think I'm crazy.
okay.
It's a complete gas, but not the 40. I want the 120.
Really?
Yeah, so here's something that's kind of interesting. I don't know if everybody is aware of this or not. Probably a lot of you guys are. The chorus, the stereo chorus that's inside the 120, that is a CE1. They pulled the guts of the chorus out of the JC120 and turned it into a pedal, and that's the CE1.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so not only does it have that preamp built in there, but it's got the same chorus effect and all that stuff. I would want the 120 so it's got 2 speakers. It's fully stereo. The 40 is only one 12-inch speaker.
No, it's 2 speakers.
Oh, is it 2 speakers?
I think
also?
it's two tens.
Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I want the 140 then.
Yeah,
Wow.
just the 40.
Or yeah, 40. Not.
Yeah, it's got 2 tens, I'm pretty sure, in it.
I did not realize that. I had it in my head that it was a 112. Okay. So yeah, it's probably a gas.
Yeah.
I don't think I would take it out to a gig.
Right.
So maybe the 120 wouldn't be a horrible thing because they're pretty inexpensive in the grand scheme of things. I'd probably try to find an old one, you know, but yeah, I think it's probably a really cool amp. It's got a very specific sound,
Sure.
but I think it's kind of an inspiration machine.
I think so too. I think, like you said, I think this is something you wouldn't necessarily gig with it.
Right.
But if you just want that sound and you're just looking for, you know, even putting a loop on, you know, and you're practicing, I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, a lot of guys have played them. I mean, famously, a lot of those like new metal guys in like the late 90s were using them for their cleans anyway. And there's a reason why they're famous.
Right.
What a cool sound. Who would have thought we would be saying gas?
I know.
So it is a gas for you. It's a gas for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We'll move into my gas or pass.
Okay.
Wow, that was easy.
That was an easy one.
So my gas or pass is a new Supro amp that could be a current topic pretty much. But it's
Okay.
a Supro Montauk? Montauk, maybe? I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, Montauk, like the mountains.
Okay. It's a 1x10. So it's 15 watts. It's got a reverb built into it. It's got a line out. It's got a master in it. And it's $9.99. It's one 10-inch speaker. They've got their own design 10-inch speaker built in it. And it's in that cool, like, blue elephant Tolex stuff, whatever they call that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The silver screen on the front. It's basically like a Supro Princeton with a few bonuses with the line out and stuff.
But without a tremolo.
Right.
Huh. And it's got a master.
It's got a master.
Huh.
What's your thoughts on this amp? It's basically brand new. It sounds, you know, we don't do any demos on this channel. I did listen to do a little demo, but we all know that demos suck. But the demos I heard sounded pretty good. You know, we're going to have to get in the store and actually play one.
Right.
But Man, they sounded great. What's your thoughts on this? Have you looked into this amp at all?
No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's new.
15 watts, 10-inch speaker, reverb, the blue look with a master.
And
see, I think it's the master that sells me.
And the line out has a dry line out, so no reverb. It's got a full wet line out, and then it's got like a mixed line out too.
No, typically I'm not a master volume type of person. Like, I just like the amp as it is. But with a 15 watt amp, typically you're playing smaller places anyways, or bedroom or whatever. The master's nice.
Yeah.
This is like,
It's real nice.
This is what I would call Supro's Blues Junior.
Okay, maybe so.
That's what it kind of sounds
It's like a
to
Blues
me.
Junior with a line out.
Yeah, but it's probably a lot more boutique.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I'd love to play one. I would love to play one. I bet that would be really cool. I've always thought Supro is very in between Fender and Marshall. Like, just their sound has felt very in between. Like, it's got a good clean, but it's pretty sparkly, but it doesn't have the deep bass, and it doesn't have like the piercing treble of a Marshall.
Yeah.
I think I would like this a lot, actually.
Yeah, I think I would too. I was thinking about, man, how cool would it be to pair with like a Deluxe or a Princeton
Oh yeah.
and run it stereo?
You probably want something like a Deluxe, a little thicker.
Probably so. Probably so. But boy, it would be a great sound. I think the EQ, because like you said, the EQs are so much different the way they're voiced, I think they would probably blend really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually a complete gas for me.
Do you think this is something, like, we talk about gas or pass, and we say we want to, would we buy it if we had the money? But is this something like you're actually like looking to buy?
I want to go play it first, but absolutely.
Do you think you would buy this above a Blues Junior, potentially?
Yes.
And a Princeton?
I think it's on par with the Princeton. I think probably it's above the Princeton because I have a Deluxe.
That's fair.
And I think it would
You
mesh
want
well.
something different. And it's also got a master.
Right. There's too many things leading towards, yes, I would go to this over something different.
Huh.
And it would be a completely different flavor than I have. I don't have anything Supro inspired.
Right. That'd be
So-
really cool.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Okay.
So you want to move into your main topic?
All right. My main topic, it's all about, what does it mean to have a versatile amp?
Means it does a lot of things.
No. So I think my definition of this has totally changed.
Okay.
All right. So when I was first playing, I don't even remember. I had a Line 6 Spider. Okay. Technically, that's versatile.
It is.
It has any effect you want. It wasn't very inspiring to me, though.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
Newsflash.
yeah. Also, when the fuse broke, it was less inspiring because it didn't work.
Yeah.
So that is technically a versatile amp, right? But I wanted something with like an actually good sound to it. So then I bought this Bogner Alchemist, and it is extremely versatile. All right, so it's got a clean, a dirty channel. It's got a boost on it, and then it's got delay and reverb in it. It is very versatile. It's hefty. This amp, it's a 1x12, but man, it feels about like a twin. I'm sure it's not that heavy. Probably at least an AC-15, maybe an AC-30, probably between that weight. It is a super versatile amp. And I thought to myself, because I've been looking at selling it, I want another versatile amp because all my other amps, they're very niche related. Like, I've got a Bassman. It's very high headroom and it's loud. I've got a Tweed, which, most gigs, I can't even turn it but to like 2. So I've been looking at, can I get a versatile amp? I've got this Bogner Alchemist that is technically versatile, but would I want something with a direct out? Like maybe a Runt 50 or 20?
Maybe that Supro we were just talking about.
Well, maybe.
I know what you're saying.
But like, do I want a Princeton Tone Master? That's super versatile because you can change the attenuation on it. So I just thought about like, what does it mean to have a versatile amp to you? Do you want something with a lot of options, like a Line 6 Spider, a Bogner Alchemist, because it just has delay reverb, but it's got 2 different channels? Do you want something with a master that's versatile enough for you? Like, what are you looking for? Because me personally, I can't decide.
It's kind of tricky to think about versatile amp and what it means. Because there's a few categories, really. So there is the do-it-all, as in like master volume, multiple channels, got reverb in it. And that to me is like, yes, it's very versatile, direct outs, all kinds of things like that. Of course that's versatile, you got a lot of things, but I'm never going to play a gig. Never. Very rarely in a circumstance, I'm going to go play a gig with no pedal board. So do I really need something that's channel switching and does all, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure I need that. I'm not sure I need a Bogner Alchemist that has a delay and a reverb built in it plus multiple channels. Because I'm probably going to take at least my small board, you know, it has 5 pedals on it, 6 pedals on it.
Let me stop you just for a minute. I also think it's fair to say if you don't have a board, you do want all those options.
Yeah, you probably do.
Like, if I'm plugging straight into the amp, that Alchemist is perfect.
Yeah, it would be perfect for that, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
So yes, that's very versatile, but it's not versatile in my world because I'm probably honestly going to find the channel and setting I like out of that the most and where I think the amp sounds the best, and I'm going to leave it. I'm not even going to change channels. I'm not going to add the delay on it. I'll use the reverb that's in it, but then I'm just going to move on from there. So when I think about versatile amps today, I kind of look at what is the best sound I can get out of this amp that my pedals work well with, that everything's going to be okay for the gig volume. I like the idea of a master volume because yes, that does make it more versatile for sure. But most of the amps that I really love the sound of don't have masters. So I think for me, a versatile amp needs to have headroom. It needs to be loud.
Mm-hmm.
Like louder than what the gig is going to ask for.
Sure.
So even though your Tweed Deluxe is too loud for some gigs, I would rather have that than something that's maxing out its headroom.
I agree.
I need something that at its base sound, I love the sound of. And if I get those 2 things, that's really about as versatile as I need it to be.
That could literally be any amp.
It can almost...
Well, you're saying like...
You say that.
As long as it's loud enough.
And I love the bass sound. That's as versatile as I need an amp to be today. It is.
I don't think... No. I don't ascribe to that.
Okay. Well, what do you
think?
That
is not versatile. That is literally any amp you just described.
Okay, but... You know what? It wouldn't work...
This is versatile.
Yeah, it is.
Whoops.
It is. It is kind of versatile in some ways. You're right. But it's not going to... So you got to have the amp for the right gig, is what I'm saying, though, at the same time. Okay. If you're going to do what I'm talking about and make a versatile amp work like that, it's got to be the right amp for the gig. This Marshall isn't the right amp for every gig, and I'm fully aware of that. That Deluxe works at dang near every gig I ever am going to play at. It's very versatile in that fact, but it doesn't have a master. It doesn't have a bunch of extra effects on it. But it's just loud enough to do the job. If I need to play any louder than that Deluxe is going to be, I probably need to mic it anyway. Now, if you're playing silent stages, if you're playing something where you're going into the mains all the time, if you're playing somewhere small or like crazy amounts of different places and you need one amp to do it, then you need the master volume. Then you need the direct out. Then you need maybe channel switching options. But I'm not doing that. I'm playing similar sized venues pretty regularly, and I just need an amp that's going to fall in that kind of spot or have a couple amps that I can switch between. So for my needs, my versatile amp is completely different than what some people would call a versatile amp. Maybe that explains it a little bit more.
Yeah, you are very different because I think a lot of people would say Boss Katana, right? Because it has some effects in there. It has channel switching. I mean, that is a very versatile amp.
Very much so.
But that's more versatility than you need.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, so that's pretty much where I am with my Alchemist right now. It's really heavy, and granted, it's got the headroom. We don't have to worry about that.
I would almost say your boss. I would almost say that your Bogner Alchemist is not versatile.
Why?
It sucks to carry. It's in a road case, which is nice because you can roll it in places. But if you got to go upstairs, if you got to go...
It's a nightmare.
Wherever, loading it in and out
Nightmare.
sucks. You've got a big foot switch you got to, deal with and move it around and cables. Yeah, you've got a direct out you can use if you need to, or you can mic and do all these things. You've got all these knobs to get all situated and whatnot, but you're probably using one sound, right?
I am.
And
right now back in the day, I used all of it.
Right. And, you're finding your master to hit what you need for the club or the venue or whatever you're playing at, and you're kind of leaving it there, I would almost say it's not real versatile in the fact of, yeah, of course you can get lots of sounds, but it doesn't really fit a lot of these gigs.
Not the ones I'm currently playing.
Yeah.
The thing is, I feel like if I were playing like Fusion, or not that I'm
Oh yeah, you're a big Fusion player.
Prog rock. I don't know. Like if I was playing a very different style of music, it would fit the bill better than what I have.
Yeah.
So I'm just, not that I don't know. I go back and forth on, do I need this amp or can I put it towards a fund of something else? Because this Tweed Deluxe I have, it is not versatile whatsoever. I mean, it's just the sound and that's it. So part of me wants to put the funds towards a Princeton, because at least it's got reverb and it's got tremolo, and regardless, I know that sound won't be a big issue.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think my view of what a versatile amp and what I need has changed. And I think that's really what I'm trying to get at for you all is, if you want a versatile amp, you have to decide how you want to go about it. Because there's versatility in like having to plug straight into the amp and having everything you need, right? There's people that want their pedals because that's their mainstay and they're going to plug that into their amp. So as long as the versatility of the amp and the pedals together is enough for them, then that's another thing too. Or if you're, West Montgomery and you just need to plug straight into an amp and no pedals and it's not very versatile, well, that's your prerogative. But I think you need to decide as a player what is going to fit the bill for you and the gear that you have currently. Because if you don't have any pedals, your versatile amp is going to be like a Boss Katana.
You need something with more options.
Yeah. But if you have some pedals and you have some options there, then maybe you can have a less versatile amp because you've got stuff at your disposal.
Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe the versatility thing too falls to, is it versatile?
Two falls to?
Also, I'm confused now. So maybe it also falls to, can you take it to a bunch of gigs? Like, is it easy to load in and out? Is it easy to set up for your situation? Are you playing that silent stage?
See, and that's a lot of it too. What is your scenario?
Yeah.
And the gigs that you play?
Yeah, versatility is different for different players.
Completely.
Well, this kind of fell into a different place than I thought it was going to.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.